The only problem with shutting off the main stop tap outside is what is up, YouTube, and welcome back. It is part 2 of the complete house renovation that we're on. So before we get into it, don't forget to give this video a like, do it now, and subscribe if you haven't done already. Let's get into it. So just fetched some stuff in, laser level, fittings, etc. This is where we got up to last time. So today we're going to get connected onto the hot and cold, change that stop tap, and drop it lower down. It is copper, so that's all right. And obviously come across here. Customers put 2 hot and colds up, stabs up there, which are going to go to the bathroom. So connect onto that. Tees off here for the kitchen sink. I might come down here with the condensate, kick it around and across, and pop it out in kitchen sink, because that's where I'm going to connect. Where I'm going to connect the condensate into the waste. Moving into the next room. We've got our flow and returns there, which need to come across to this radiator. First fix that. Some more over there. Down the wall in copper. Out for a radiator. First fix that. Finally got a gas meter in. And it's got a union on. I think what I'm going to have to do with that is a end feed union. Female, by the looks of it. So I think I'll just cut it off here. And a street elbow. Soldered directly into that. I think probably do this first, then I can get a gas test on, because obviously there's only the boiler in the property. It's a complete new gas run, so we're allowed no permissible drop. Obviously allowed a little bit of tolerance on your electronic meter or your water gauge, which I think is 0.25 for electronic and half a bar for water gauge, but yeah, no permissible drop on this. So moving on upstairs in the bathroom, like I say, customers put a few pipes in. Under there, we've got hot and cold coming from the kitchen, and obviously these two are running along here. So how this is going to be laid out is bath across this back wall, toilet, basin, shower enclosure. So those 2 hot and colds at the minute are down there. They're going to come across and up this wall into a bar mixer. Toilet's going there, bath. Just said that. It's been all of 10 seconds and I'm already repeating myself. But yeah, that's the bathroom layout. I ain't never going to get around to that today, unfortunately. There's our towel rail feeds. So yeah, plenty to be getting on with. It's cold. But let's get on with it. Hot and cold. Gas first, then hot and cold. Boom. And so that is what I'm thinking. I might just have to unclip it from the inside. Straight in like that. Be able to mark it up to cut for length anyway. Bit of effect. Someone in the comments mentioned that this earth bonding shouldn't come through the same hole as the gas. Now, I bet you 9 out of 10 houses, they come through the same hole as the gas. I could be wrong, that might be true. I've never heard it before, but let us know in the comments if you heard that one. And also, I knew this already, but gas pipes should be sleeved through walls, obviously, and it should be made of metal, not plastic. Now, I understand that, fair enough, but my argument with it is, what is the sleeve that comes with the gas meter made out of? Because it's this big at this end. Granted, it's some form of plastic, whether they class it as composite or what, but in my eyes, that's still plastic. So I just fluxed up the pipe and the male end of the fitting. Now with gas, you only flux up the pipe, not inside the fitting. That's the same rule applies for most, well, all copper pipes and soldering, but I need 2 hands for this thing. But more importantly, gas, because you don't want the flux just sitting in the fitting there. It doesn't get washed out like water does, and just rotting the pipe over time. So I've put a little mark on that where I need my pipe to be pushed into the actual socket of the fitting. Can I do it one-handed? Yep. Right, so I'll try and solder that up now after I undo that and take out the rubber washer, because otherwise that'll melt. In fact, it'll take out the meter completely. Ah, beautiful. Leave that to cool down now, because brass takes an absolute age to cool off before putting that rubber in and then sticking the meter back on. Hopefully this old girl won't be going back out of the van again today. So I've shown this before, but this is what we used for sealing around the gas pipe going through that sleeve there. FJC even, a non-setting compound. It's a bit like putty, but letting anyone know who doesn't know what it is. That's our results. That's a sealed up, and that for this one is the gas complete up to now. Alright, so moving on to the hot and cold. Still using the good old Lasco laser level from Amazon. Not sponsored in the slightest. I didn't think I was going to like it, to be honest. I thought it was going to be a bit gimmicky, but the green, because obviously I've got a red laser level that I've used for years. The green is just so much more bright. You can see it in multiple instances instead of just some of the time with the lights off. So yeah, that's where I think I'm going to come round with at least one of the pipes, either the hot or the cold. But first, I'm going to shut off the water outside and get that stop tap changed and drop it lower. And that really will govern where my cold teas are going to be. The only problem with shutting off the main stop tap outside is it's a shared one for one, obviously this one, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, about seven houses. What's chances someone's in the shower at this time? So I've just cleaned that copper off, pasted it up with nut and olive, shut that tap off. Let's go and turn it off outside and quickly cut this off. Don't upset Doris mid washing her hair and turn the water off for any length of time. Oh, it's full of water. It's gonna be freezing. Do I test this off? Do I risk it for a biscuit? I don't know about that. I don't know. Let's just go for it. Turn it back on. Oh yeah, baby. Lovely, it's much better. So I just put a little stab of copper in there to press fit tea. Now when using press, you need to use these long drain offs, because obviously the depth of the socket on the fitting. And straight after a stop tap, you have to have a drain off. That is going to look something like that. Beautiful. So I've just had to put a tiny little kick on this section here, because obviously the stop tap was set further back, and I've got a plasterboard finish on there and then my pipe clips, hence why I needed to bring it further off. But I think that there is going to be our height for our cold. Slightly concerning how I've only got two 15mm tees left though. So I've just put some offcuts of plasterboard on there for our finished wall surface, and obviously, as you can see, if my arm wasn't in the way, level line across is where I'm going to bang my talon clips. I'll put the hot on top. That's our cold done and pressed in up to the boiler. Need a little stab off this into here for the cold to the kitchen sink on a T, and then across into that speed fit to feed the bathroom upstairs. So that is our cold done. Run into the bathroom upstairs. Hopefully that, with it protruding off the wall, I'm hoping this, well I know this is going to be all kitchen units. I'm hoping there's going to be a void at that end with an M panel. We'll find out, won't we? Just put a stop end on this ready. Obviously marked it up because once the kitchen's gone in and the unit's in, all I'll have sticking out is a stop tap, a drain off, and a hot and cold, well, 2 copper pipes. Sod's law, I'll forget which is which. So I always put a little mark on. That is our hot and colds finished. Again, labelled up. Looks really nice. Love it. Now, I know I did say, and it's supposed to be this way anyway, the hot is supposed to be on top of the cold, because obviously they say heat rises and could warm the cold mains up, but all these pipes are getting insulated anyway, so it should be fine. I just wanted to keep this lower. I didn't want it any higher up. Just makes it awkward connecting up the sink. So yeah, that should be our hot and cold done for this morning. Now we'll get back on to moving on to those above me. And those above me up there. Carry on, first fixing radiators. Not done too bad, it's only, I've been here an hour and a half. Not too bad. I don't actually know what I had planned for this. There's no radiator. My bad. There's no radiator above it because that one is over the other side. So to get around this stud-work, I think I'll probably try send some speed fit up, just like that. Now I personally would have got some spigot reducers, but I'm not supplying the materials on this job, so I didn't get a choice. Bit of lube. Bloody hell. And again, I don't think we've got any spigot 15mm elbows because they would go nicely around the back of there. Just made some short pieces up as short as possible. It's going to be somewhere like that. Yeah, so those two are going to sneak around the back of that into 2 elbows on that. That one is scored. Got to watch out where you put the fittings. If the pipe's scored and rough, don't know if you can see that on that one. It won't seal so good, so you have to try and, well, I sometimes smooth it off with a bit of emery cloth. Right, so that's what I've done with them ones. Clipped them up, parallel down the wall level. Obviously until where they're doing whatever the hell they want to do. When we come across here, he's having a 1200 rad on. He wants the pipes bringing out 7" off the floor. So I'll probably come across the back in there in speed fit again, just so I can thread it behind them struts and pop it straight out in copper. Make sure that the laser is 7" off the floor first. So that there is 180. They're about 7 inches. And now I know where I'm going to be running my pipes across. He wants this radiator centre of the window, so obviously all I'll do is measure centre. And I allow, this is a 1200 radiator, and I allow 90mm. So this would be 1290 overall. So from centre 600 across plus 45 will be centre of our tap-ins for our radiator. That didn't make sense to you. That is centre of our window, 1200mm wide radiator going in. So half that is 600 plus your 45mm for the tap-ins of the tails of the radiator. So from there to there is 645, so that's where I'll be bringing out my first pipe. And obviously from there, and it's on the edge of that, to the 645, so that's where I'll be bringing out my second pipe. Something I like that. Lights are beaming off everything. Just about to see, it's hard to see on the camera, but you can see the laser on the end of the pipe. Although looking at the back wall, it doesn't look centre. It's probably because this isn't square. I've squared it up, it looks a bit better. At the end of the day though, we've still got movement on this if we needed to pull it left or right. Once we got that in, as long as it's 1290 centre to centre of the pipe, that'll be lovely. Just going to pull this back off shortly. I've just run out of gaffer tape, to protect it against the brickwork. Get the other side in done now. So that is that one, first fixed. Beautiful. You'll just have to believe me that from there to there measures 1290. And the level. Now we're moving on to this radiator. There's having two in this dining room. So I'm going to pull some bends, go into that elbow, and that T then needs running along. I don't think the holes are actually drilled for that. Looking at it. Did I not drill the joist? Oh, I didn't, no. Well, that's where the upstairs radiator pipe needs to be. So it needs don't know how I'm going to do this. Yeah, it's so close to the joist. Anyway, it needs a hole through there to go into that T. Leave that until my cousin gets back so he can drill the holes. And move on to the front room and bedroom instead. So that's those two drops in now. I just want to show you the difference between a red laser level and a green one against copper pipe. Again, because I've got no tape to tape the pipe up, I'm going to have to take them back out again once it's connected up and we've got some. So that one is completely first fixed now as well, other than it needs taping up. And when I tape it up, I'm going to remove these clips because this cement is adult, old, and use some strap banding just to strap that back to the wall. But how much nicer does that look compared to that? I mean, that still looks all right, but it just looks so much neater and nicer. Moving on now, these two 22mm flow and returns have got to continue across, tee up to the bedroom and come down, tee down for a radiator under this window. So I'm going to continue running them. Probably get these drops in whilst I'm downstairs before moving on to upstairs. Two stabs here which just terminate at the wall there. They need to go right the way up into the next floor where my finger is, the attic room. A lot to do to try and get it done in the day. I didn't think I'd get it done in a day, but it would be nice if I could, because then I could get it filled up and pressurised up to whatever, and they can carry on plasterboarding and insulating and whatever else. Oh, I'm just in the bathroom here. I've just capped up them two hot and cold feeds which I brought, which I've teed in downstairs. Before continuing any more with the heating, I could potentially, well I can liven up this hot and cold. That's the cold on. Open this isolation valve. So that's the hot and cold under water mains pressure now. Before I go tonight, at least all the work that I've done up to now on the hot and cold is live. Even if I don't get round to filling the heating. If I do get round to filling the heating, I would have still needed to liven up the cold. So swings and roundabouts, innit? Just got them drops down now. Obviously that has to rise up so it meets level with that. Again, 1290. I've still yet to connect them up in the ceiling. And like I said, there's another radiator directly above this. So I'm going to next drill my holes in that floorboard up there just behind the gas. So I know where them legs are popping down before. Sorry, I just nearly coughed my guts up before teeing everything in there. So I moved on to doing these 2 feeds to the attic room. They're just going to come up the wall there, with dot and dab behind. And then I'm going to elbow across to wherever they're feeding down from upstairs. But like I say, I haven't supplied any of the materials on this job. There's just a bag of fittings. I'm sure I've just run out of 3-foot elbows. Damn. If in doubt, tip it out. Oh, 1. That's what I need then. Damn. Right, so we've run out of speed fit elbows now, indefinitely. There's no more in that bag. I checked my van, there's none in the van. Since moving on to press fit, I don't keep very much speed fit at all. And I'm a bit of a pain for keeping up on van stock if it's not something I use very often. Because you just forget. Use your last couple in an emergency and then when you need it, it's not there. Like now. So customer's going to bring some on his way back home and he should be here in half an hour. Tidy up, I think. So my plan with this is to just elbow it straight into this kitchen cupboard. There's going to be a lot going on in here. And wherever the waste pipe goes in, I'll just teeth condensate into that. So it's internal. And come across here, elbow across 45 into an elbow up. And into the boiler. But I thought I'd do that whilst waiting for the customer to come back with the 15mm speed fit elbows. Batteries charged. Name the brand of power tool. But I haven't got any condensate elbows, so this can't get finished either. So this is a loft room. Not sure if I've shown you this before, but that is these 2 stabs up for a radiator up here. Just gonna need some noggins to support that. So this here will be the last little bit of the central heating first fixing this house. There is just enough time to get it pressurised up. I'm probably going to pressurise it up to about 2.5 bar and then leave it and hope for the best. And the client can insulate the walls, board the walls, etc. because it'll all be live. I have to apologise now for the light, but it's getting dark. Nothing I can do about it. See if we have any leaks now. Well, I hope this is the only leak we get. Bloody filter weren't tight. That's a positive sign. She's still going. Can't hear any psst yet. Sounds like it's hitting incoming mains pressure there. Can't hear it filling as fast. 2.5 bar. That's where I'm going to leave it. Can't really go any higher because I've not piped up the PRV yet. I'll leave that be now. Till we get back here, which will be a few weeks' time. A few weeks' time for you as well. So if you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. Let us know if you're doing anything different or comment down below. And I'll catch you on the next one.